Nowadays, we are certain that we have studied our planet thoroughly, but the ocean depths continue to shock us with unexpected discoveries. Strange creatures, sunken ships, mysterious artifacts. It seems the underwater world never stops presenting new questions. How is it that even in the age of modern technology, we still encounter mysteries we never even suspected before? Let us figure it out. Let us go. To this day, an incredible number of the most astonishing underwater discoveries have been recorded. In one such case, in the warm waters off the coast of Lower California in Mexico, fishermen in the year 2014 noticed something strange floating on the surface. At first, it seemed to them like a large dark mass with white spots, but as they drew closer, they realized they were looking at two newborn whale calves. The peculiarity was that these little ones turned out to be conjoined twins of a gray whale. Their length reached about 4 meters and their weight about 1/2 ton. Even the most experienced scientists, who had dedicated their entire lives to studying marine life, were astonished. Such a sight had never before been seen in Mexico. Scientists have always believed that they knew almost all the ocean inhabitants, but some new finds forced them to seriously reconsider. Imagine a diver descending into the darkest depths, where only the rarest of light flickers. There, he encounters a creature so unusual that it could be taken for a visitor from another planet. It was a gigantic squid-like being with huge fins, much larger than the length of its body, and long tentacles reaching about 7 meters. Gracefully gliding through the water, this being resembled extraterrestrials from science fiction stories. When the diver approached close enough and took photographs, the world was given its very first opportunity to see this rarest inhabitant of oceanic silence. At a depth of about 2 miles under the Antarctic ice, a group of researchers made one of the most breathtaking discoveries. They managed to find the legendary ship Endurance, which sank more than 107 years ago. On its deck once stood the brave explorer Ernest Shackleton, who became trapped in the ice in the year 1915 during an expedition to the South Pole. Thanks to the use of special underwater robots, the vessel was found in remarkably good condition. The icy water had almost perfectly preserved the wood, maintaining the ship's nearly pristine appearance. Off the coast of Israel, right near the shores, fearsome warriors once marched. And now, after about 900 years, in October of the year 2021, a diver stumbled upon an unusual find: an iron sword covered with marine deposits. Its length was about 3 feet. Scientists believe that this artifact belonged to a medieval knight from the time of the Crusades. Now, experts will clean the blade of centuries-old incrustations, attempt to find hidden details or inscriptions, and then the sword will take its place of honor in a museum, telling people today about forgotten chapters of history. When an underwater drone was sent into the dark depths, no one expected to see something so strange. The camera showed giant eye sockets among unrecognizable skeletal fragments. As it turned out, these were the remains of a huge shark. Over time, bacteria had destroyed the bones, turning them into a nutrient substrate for marine plants. In this way, nature itself reminds us of the cycle of life. Once a formidable predator, it became the foundation of a new ecosystem. The decayed remains nourishing other deep-sea inhabitants and supporting the ocean's astonishing balance. A team of divers set out to examine an animal carcass on the seabed, but instead of the expected sight, they encountered a creature whose appearance seemed eerily human. It had a triangular head, a huge maw, and, most strangely, a face with almost human features. The creature neither fled nor hid, nor did it show fear of humans. It seemed to be studying them as intently as they were studying it. Observing this encounter was both chilling and mesmerizing. It seems that under the water, we may be met by beings capable of astonishing even the most seasoned explorers. A calm day on Praia Grande Beach changed when the waves washed something strange ashore. Its face resembled a hybrid of a dog and a goat, and its pale, bloated skin inspired fear. People backed away in horror until someone identified the creature as a black-spotted triggerfish that had simply died and been washed up on the beach. This case makes us think about how ocean pollution is exterminating marine life and what other unusual guests may appear on our shores. In one of the Norwegian fjords, workers at a fish farm came across a creature reminiscent of a character from old tales. It was a strange jellyfish with 12 stiff tentacles growing from its bell-shaped body. They call it peril, and like mythical vampires or trolls, it cannot stand sunlight. But in the total darkness of the depths, this creature can emit its own glow, changing colors as if dancing in the underwater gloom. The ocean depths are filled with beings that could rival the heroes of fantastic legends. In the cold waters near Homer, Alaska, fishermen hauled up a strange creature with peculiar patterns on its body. It desperately tried to return to the depths, and its appearance resembled a sharp-toothed wolf. Someone guessed it might be a wolf eel or a wolffish, but its features were even more mysterious. Fins like ears, a mysterious pattern on its face. After taking a few photographs, the fishermen released it back into the sea, understanding that they had encountered one of the rarest denizens of the northern depths. Off the western coast of Japan, divers witnessed the majestic dance of one of the most elusive ocean dwellers, a giant squid with pale skin and reddish patterns. Usually, these creatures are only found washed up dead on beaches, but this time, they were able to observe a living giant in its natural habitat. One of the divers seized the moment, approached, and recorded these images, revealing to the world the true beauty of a legendary creature about which we previously knew only from accidental encounters. Many centuries ago, ships plied the waves of the Baltic Sea, decorating their prows with carved figures resembling monsters. And now, off the coast of Sweden, divers discovered a wooden sea monster that had been hidden under the waves for hundreds of years. This carved masterpiece was part of the ship of King Hans of Denmark, which sank in the year 1495. The creature's head resembled a lion with the jaws of a crocodile holding a human. Frozen in time, the artifact seemed to return to remind us of bygone glory and the brutality of maritime expeditions. At a depth of about 2,700 feet, the remotely operated camera recorded a colossal skeleton stretching nearly 100 feet. These bones did not match any known species. They were too large for ordinary whales, and their structure posed a true puzzle. One paranormal researcher suggested they might be the remains of an ancient dragon we have long forgotten. This finding proves that the deep ocean is full of riddles for which we currently have no answers. A camera surveying the depths near an oil rig caught the unexpected appearance of a colossal creature. Its outline resembled a mosasaur from legends or prehistoric films, with powerful jaws and a long body. When the video went online, viewers wondered, could ancient predators still hide in the ocean depths? Is it really so impossible that creatures surviving for millions of years might remain concealed below while we know only the surface of their world? Off the coast of Madagascar, a diver discovered a strange object, an enormous helmet that could fit a human inside. When he posted the video, the boldest guesses began. Some claimed it was a relic of an ancient civilization or a giant's artifact. Others that it might be unusual equipment from a forgotten age, possibly an ancient diving helmet. One way or another, this massive discovery reminded us that the ocean depths are a storehouse of unfathomable enigmas and treasures yet to be unraveled. While exploring the seabed near the Philippines, a diver came upon a strange cluster of bones. At first, he mistook them for a rock, but upon closer examination, he saw a huge skeleton. The size of the bones and their ancient appearance made him think of a leviathan, a legendary sea monster. Perhaps it was only a large ancient whale, but the very suggestion of encountering a legend encourages us to wonder what other secrets remain undiscovered. Even if it is not a leviathan, the found skeleton may help us learn more about the large creatures that once inhabited the ocean in distant epochs. Japanese sailors once told stories of strange giant white creatures seen in the icy waters of Antarctica. When such beings were once captured on video, they were called ningen. They reached a length comparable to that of a bus and had human-like outlines, arms, legs, and even fingers. However, some insist they saw fins or a tail instead of limbs. Many first believed it was a submarine, but the creature's movement convinced everyone it was alive. Thus, the Antarctic oceans gained yet another mystery. During torrential rains, residents of Thailand noticed a strange dark creature with long, writhing tentacles crawling out of flooded waters. People watched it with curiosity and fear, trying to understand whether it was an ancient monster or a rare beast straying in from the forest. Before anyone could get a good look, it slipped away and disappeared. Perhaps it was just an unknown-to-science species of animal, but the unsettling thought of ancient legends coming to life continues to trouble the mind. Off the coast of La Palma in Spain, the ocean depths hold a grim reminder of tragedy. At about 20 meters deep lies an underwater cemetery erected in memory of 40 monks who perished in the year 1570 when French pirates seized their ship and threw them overboard. Stone crosses established about 20 years ago mark this place of sorrow. Tourists, unaware of this underwater memorial, swim overhead without suspecting the grim stories preserved by the depths. An underwater robot recorded mysterious red lights in the black waters near Monbay. At a depth of about 1,729 feet, it came upon a strange shadow. As it approached, the robot illuminated a creature with a gleaming body, huge jaws, and sharp teeth. It turned out to be a dragonfish, a deep-sea predator whose red eyes glowed in the darkness. It uses its bioluminescence to lure prey, enticing it right into its jaws. Thus, even in pitch-black darkness, the underwater world is both inventive and merciless. A drone flying over the waves accidentally captured something strange, a creature swimming like a human, using its front limbs and unusual fins. Moreover, it had not one but two tails, resembling the images of Sheela-na-gigs from ancient legends. This is yet another of those mysterious videos that make us believe in the existence of mermaids or, at the very least, some mysterious human-like marine beings. On an animal channel, they showed a strange creature that looked like a thick underwater cucumber. It was a sea cucumber, capable of astonishing with its internal adaptations. It drew in water through a special opening, passing it through peculiar chambers where tiny underwater lungs extracted oxygen. But this was not just a breathing mechanism. Along with the water, the sea cucumber consumed nutrient particles, obtaining additional food. Nature always finds an elegant way to combine multiple functions in a single organism. A group of divers in Taiwan encountered an extremely rare event. They saw a living oarfish, a creature that usually hides at unimaginable depths. Usually, these inhabitants are only seen dead, washed up on beaches. This time, the divers not only saw it alive, but were also able to touch it. The length of this oarfish reached 36 feet. In olden times, sailors took it for a sea monster. Now we have proof that reality can sometimes be no less astonishing than legends. At a depth of about 5,000 feet below the surface of the Gulf of Mexico, an oil camera recorded a strange, translucent blob. The creature resembled a large umbrella, softly glowing in the darkness. Scientists spent 2 years studying the footage before they confirmed. This was the extremely rare jellyfish Deepsteria reticulum, Its appearance is so unusual that at first, many took it for an unknown anomaly. Sometimes, even familiar life forms can turn out to be an astonishing mystery. On the 4th of July on Pompo Beach in Florida, vacationers witnessed a scene they initially mistook for an encounter with a mythical being. A large figure with flippers flickering in the waves caused panic, but it turned out to be merely two marine manatees entwined with each other and washed ashore by a wave. These sea cows were not in danger and eventually managed to return to the water. This chance meeting offered a rare opportunity to see these peaceful giants so close. In the inky darkness of the ocean, the underwater camera recorded two bright lights. A flash of light revealed a giant figure, as if the sea god Triton were battling a monster. But as soon as the light faded, the creature vanished into the depths, as if aware it was being observed. It is unknown what the camera saw, an ancient giant or just a rare marine animal. The fact remains, in the depths dwell beings that can avoid human eyes for hundreds of years. During an underwater photo shoot, two friends never suspected their shot would become a true sensation. While one posed, right behind him swam two strange creatures with long necks and flat fins. They glided smoothly and confidently, ignoring the human who had disturbed their peace. In the end, the photograph captured a unique moment that people recount with both awe and puzzlement. At a depth of about 3,700 feet in the Indian Ocean, a remotely operated camera recorded a truly magical sight. At first, it was an unclear drifting object, but then it swiftly transformed into a being with a smooth, pouch-like body and tentacles equipped with tiny stinging cells. According to descriptions, it resembled a black cannonball with stinging tentacles. Scientists were baffled. Perhaps this is a rare type of jellyfish possessing unique methods of camouflage or defense. At great depth, where eternal darkness reigns, a diver witnessed a rare phenomenon: the relationship between two anglerfish. The tiny male was literally fused to the huge female, becoming her permanent companion and sperm donor. This footage shocked viewers. In response, someone showed another video of a giant anglerfish with huge antennae and an impressive maw. This fish has small eyes adapted to dim light and sharp teeth. In the darkness of the ocean, any light or strange adaptation is a key to survival. A diver off the coast of Bali encountered a creature resembling an alien being: 13 legs, a transparent head, and a mouth full of sharp teeth. He filmed it and posted the recording, sparking a flurry of hypotheses. Some thought it a sea cucumber or a distant relative of starfish. Scientists explained that it was a sea slug called Bavarius, capable of growing to the size of a school ruler and using its transparent head like a net to catch prey. The ocean is full of creatures that can baffle even seasoned researchers. One fisherman was astonished when his nets brought up a fish with thick lips and noticeable teeth resembling human ones. At first, he thought it was a mutant, but later realized it was merely an adult triggerfish. Nature knows how to surprise. Sometimes natural features look so strange that we are ready to believe in fantastical transformations. Exploring Australia's coral reefs, a marine biologist noticed a large shadow in the water. It resembled a human swimmer, but upon approaching, he saw something incredible. A creature resembling a mermaid glided easily through the water. The scientist froze, not wanting to scare off the mysterious inhabitant. Underwater, everything may not be what it seems. A diver almost touched a cute-looking marine sponge that resembled ping-pong balls, but he remembered in time that the ping-pong sponge is a deadly predator covered with tiny hooks. Victims caught by these traps can never escape. The sponge slowly digests its prey. This incident reminds us, outward harmlessness can be deceptive. In the rainy forests of Sabah in Malaysia, divers stumbled upon a grim underwater crypt, a cave filled with turtle shells. One might think turtles lay eggs on the beach, so why were they found in these dark, cavernous depths? And why did many of the shells belong to hatchlings that never emerged? Researchers are puzzled by this mystery. Was it a result of a disaster or a sign of an ancient, unknown species of turtles dwelling in underwater labyrinths? The question remains open. Where the Titanic rests, no skeletons remain. The bones dissolve quickly at that depth. But hundreds of pairs of shoes stand silent guard to the tragedy. Researchers have seen women's shoes next to children's boots, and nearby they have discovered mirrors and personal belongings among the cabin debris. All these remind us that the Titanic was not just a ship, but a home for many people traveling toward their fate. Researchers were amazed as they studied recordings from an underwater camera when they saw something resembling a human face and a strange body. The creature held its mouth wide open, revealing teeth, and resembled a mythical siren. According to legends, sirens lived on islands and lured sailors with their voices to drown them. Although this is just speculation, the very thought of encountering a legend is both frightening and captivating. Not only in the sky, but also under the water can one encounter phenomena reminiscent of alien ships. On the bottom of the Baltic Sea, the Ocean X team discovered a huge circular object at about 90 meters depth. It had straight edges and sharp angles, uncharacteristic of natural formations. Scientists argue, is it the remains of an ancient building, a fallen unidentified flying object, or simply an unusual rock formation? In any case, the Baltic Sea has added yet another mystery to the list of unexplained phenomena. On the seabed off the coast of Aqaba in Jordan lies a Lockheed L-1011 TriStar airplane, stuck in the depths like a frozen image of the past. When a brave diver descended inside, he saw old seats covered with algae and coral. Exploring further, he encountered a skeleton, a silent witness to a tragedy. Who was this person, and why did they remain here forever? This sunken airliner guards secrets that history has yet to reveal. In the warm tropical waters, a tourist noticed a strange plantation. Hundreds of slender creatures peeking out from the sandy bottom. Upon closer inspection, it turned out to be garden eels, exposing only the tops of their bodies to catch passing plankton. Together, they formed a living, swaying meadow, reminiscent of a delicate underwater garden. At a depth of about 2,000 feet in the waters of Monterey Bay, researchers observed for the 8th time in history a remarkable fish with a transparent head, a barrel-eye. Through its crystal-clear dome, one can observe the movements of its eyes, which help it spot prey in almost complete darkness. Most trains rush along rails, but off the coast of the Sinai Peninsula in the northern waters of the Red Sea, on the seabed lie parts of trains from the British ship Thistlegorm of the Second World War era. It carried military equipment, trucks, motorcycles, and 2 steam locomotives intended to assist British forces in Egypt. The ship never reached its destination, and now its remains attract divers from around the world, offering a journey through time where history is frozen beneath the waves. The legendary Titanic is known to all, but few know that bacteria living in the depths are slowly destroying its remnants. In June of 2004, 20 years after the previous visit, researchers descended once again. They discovered that special bacteria, Honus titanic, were converting iron into rusty stalactites, corroding the metal structures. Over the intervening years, decks and masts had significantly collapsed. Thus, nature gradually erases even humanity's grandest creations. Extraordinary creatures, sunken ships, ancient artifacts, and unusual natural phenomena. Each of these points is a separate chapter in the enormous story written by the ocean. With this episode coming to an end, If you enjoyed it and want to see the next part or something similar, then leave your likes, write comments, and subscribe to Top Facts for the most incredible selections of facts and videos from all over the internet.